How to speed up your website, part 4. Use a cache plugin. WordPress pages are dynamic. This means they're built on the fly every time someone visits a post or a page on your website. To build pages, WordPress has to run a process to find the required information, put it all together, and then display it to your user. The process involves a lot of steps, and it can really slow down your website when you have multiple people visiting your website all at the same time. This is why I recommend every WordPress website should have a caching plugin. Caching can make your WordPress site anywhere from 2 to 5 times faster. Here's how it works. As you can see from the image on the right, instead of going through the whole page generation process every time, your caching plugin makes a copy of the page after the first load, and then serves that cached version to every subsequent user. As you can see from the graphic on the right, when a user visits your WordPress site, your server retrieves information from MySQL database and your PHP files. It then puts it all together into a HTML document, which is served to the user. And as you can see, it's a pretty long process. When you use a caching plugin, you can skip out a lot of this process. There are a lot of WordPress plugins you can use for caching. However, the two I recommend is WordPress Rocket, which is a premium plugin, and WordPress Super Cache, which is a free plugin. Let's go over to my WordPress dashboard and I'll show you how we can set up the free version, which is WordPress Super Cache. So I'm now over on my WordPress website and I'm on the plugins tab, and I simply want to click add new and add the new plugin, which is going to be WordPress Super Cache, as this is the free version. This is the one we want. WordPress Super Cache. I'm going to click install and then click activate. You know it's the right plugin as it's by someone called Automatic. Okay, so the plugin has now activated, so I want to scroll down and find it, and it's right here, WordPress Super Cache. Now I simply want to click settings to go into the settings of the plugin. And as you can see, by default, caching is off, even though we just activated it. So make sure you have caching on, which is recommended, and then click update status. This will ensure your change is now being saved. We can then move over to the advanced tab, and on this tab you just want to make sure you have the following boxes ticked. So the top one should be ticked, enabling caching. For cache delivery method, it should be on simple, which is also recommended. For miscellaneous, you want to make sure you have disabled caching for logged in visitors. Again, this is recommended. They do have an option to compress pages so they serve more quickly to visitors. You also want to make sure this box is ticked as well, compress pages so they serve more quickly to visitors. This box needs to be ticked as well, 3 or 4 browser caching. This improves the site performance by checking if the page has changed since the browser last requested it. So that can save you a lot of time as well. So do make sure that is checked. If you scroll down now into the advanced settings, the only one you need to have clicked here is going to be this one, which is extra homepage checks. This one is also very important, and as you can see, it's also recommended as well. So once you've made these changes, you want to scroll down and click update status. So once you've done that, these changes will now be saved into the plugin configuration. There are a few more options down here on the page, however I don't ever use any of them, I just stick with the ones at the top. There's another option at the top called CDN. So if you have purchased a CDN, you might want to hook it up right here by enabling CDN support. However, if you don't, then don't worry about that. Just go with advanced and the easy settings. So once you've done that, you have now configured your caching plugin and you are ready to go. So as you can see, it is super simple and super easy, which is why I'm such a big fan of this plugin. If you do want to clear your cache manually, simply just go to the top and click delete cache, and then scroll down and click delete cache right here. Super easy, right? And one last thing you want to do is just to make sure you check your website in an incognito window, just to make sure the plugin hasn't broke your site. I always do this for every time I install a new plugin, but like I said, it's even more important when you're using these plugins to optimize your site for speed, as a lot of these plugins can cause issues on your site. This is primarily to do with all the code you have on your website and potentially the theme you are using. So do be sure to check your website after installing these plugins. If your site does have an issue, then simply go back to your WordPress plugins and deactivate the plugin.